Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, family, here we go. It's another one. I had to come back again. This me having a conversation with me. Y'all just eavesdropping. You feel what I'm saying? So let's get into it. I've been assessing my life. I've been in these therapy sessions with myself for these last few months. And this will continue on because I'm really progressing, I think. And I thought about this one word, decisions. Many of us are not where we want to be in life simply because we make poor decisions. That's like when they say don't go to the store when you're hungry. You might be going to go get some paint or something. Why are you in the grocery section? Because you're hungry. You done went in that store while you're hungry. You want some paint. You got food at the house, but you went in there while you're hungry, and now you done went and got paint, and you got some chips, you got some ice cream, you got some soda, some water. You're supposed to go get one item, and now you didn't pay the price for a whole lot of other things. And I think a lot of times in our lives, what we do is what happens is we are in an emotional state, and we let our emotions, how we're feeling, let's say getting in your feelings, we get in our feelings, and we let our feelings and our emotions dictate our decisions, and now we're somewhere we don't want to be. Or, just like in the store, you're paying the price for more than what you came to the store for. You're supposed to buy one item. You get in there shopping and music going, you hungry too, and now you have paid the price for all these other items that was never supposed to be on your list. You came there for one item, and now you have 20 items. Why? You've let the emotions of your current state dictate your decisions. What have you paid the price for that you were not supposed to pay the price for? But because you made a decision based upon being in your feelings, now it's 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, you're still paying for something. And I looked at my life, and I have made decisions, not just an emotional decision, but I have made decisions to please other people instead of making a decision that I'm well pleased with. Are you well pleased with the decisions that you've made? This is a current decision that you got to make right now. It's go time. It's make or break for you. And you don't know what to do, especially because you're in an emotional state. You are in a cloudy state. You are in a state of being on the highway. It's raining, and your windshield wipers don't work. Isn't that a crazy situation? Think about that. You're in your car. You got gas. You got everything, the tires, everything's working good. And then you drive, right? And then it's pouring down raining. Everything works in your car except the windshield wipers. Are you going to go anywhere? I mean, you could. You could try to go. But sometimes, it gets raining so hard that you have to pull over on the side of the road. I think a lot of us no, we ain't finna pull over. We gonna fight through this. And sometimes you have to use wisdom. And it's like driving that car in the rain and the windshield wipers are not working. You cannot see clearly. And many of us in our lives can't go where we should go in life simply because we don't have vision and clarity. You don't have a plan of action, and you have no idea where you're going. This is why some of us stay in jobs or stay in environments that are hazardous to our life, simply because I don't want to stay here. I don't even like it here. I mean, they pay all right or they pay good, but I hate it here. But you're going to stay there simply because you don't have a plan for something else. So now you're stuck being complacent, being unhappy, being miserable. Some of you wake up every morning and you hate your life. You hate the job, you don't hate your kids, but you wish you could have did things differently. And maybe you're struggling as a parent, as a spouse, or being single, whatever your situation may be. And it all goes back to you. You versus you. So what you gonna do? You gonna quit? Don't you dare quit. Don't you dare throw in the towel. Don't you dare walk out on your family. Don't you dare disappear. People are looking for you. People are waiting for you. Let me tell you something. Your name is being thrown around in rooms that you have yet to put your feet in. And if you forfeit, if you quit, if you give up, you will never ever see the potential of your life on the level of where you want it to be and it could be, simply because you quit. I remember when I was a kid, and we used to have this thing at church called a walk-a-thon. We used to walk 10 miles. And what you would do is you go get sponsorships for certain miles that you would walk. And it was basically a fundraiser. And we had a place where we started at the church here and to the end, right? And that was 10 miles. And I remember I can't remember, about 6, 7, 8 maybe. I was pretty young. Well, we were walking and there was a dog coming. You know, this is the country. You know, these dogs will pop out of anywhere. People don't put their dogs on leashes. Nah, this is the country. My dog liked the yard. And the dog ran toward us. It was a group of us. And what I did, I hightailed it back the other way. I went the other way because I was frightened and I was scared because something was coming after me, a big dog. And then, you know, the owner came and got the dog and everything like that. And they was like, yo, why you ran that way? You should have ran forward. At least you would have got, you know, up the road, but you went back. Now you got to come all the way back. How far you ran back, you got to walk all the way back. And now you're double working yourself. What about you in your life? Some things popped out of nowhere, scared you. You got afraid. Maybe you had to pay some money, a bunch of money for something. Washer broke, or what? Kids acting up. All these different things popped up out of nowhere. And instead of running toward the goal, you ran the other way. So now, something that you're in now, you're supposed to be 5 years down the road. You're supposed to be progressing, but now you got to backtrack because you got scared because something jumped up out of you. Or you had to pay some money. And I don't have the money. You got scared. What do you do when you're scared? What do you do when you're afraid? Don't you dare quit. Too many people are depending on you. Shucks, you should be depending on you. Yeah. Too many people need you. Too many people need you. I've made decisions to help everybody else. And for so long, I've never made decisions to help me. I mean, I've turned down jobs. I've turned down going to school, moving out of the city, all of these different things because I wanted to make sure that everybody else was okay. And these people, they make decisions for them. They look out for them. They'll help you a little bit, but they're going to make sure they're all right. And ain't nothing wrong with that because you should be doing the same thing. You got to have something left over to eat for you so that way you can survive. Keep slinging them plates to everybody. What you gonna do? You can't just go without food all day, every day. Fasting and prayer is important, but you can't do it forever. You ain't Jesus. I'm sorry. You're not. Let's breathe. Let's breathe. Because there's something that you want to do in life. There's somewhere you want to go. But either you're scared, I don't have the money, I don't have the finances, I don't have the resources. But it's something out there that you want. You know you do. You watch a commercial and it makes you think about it. You could be watching TV with your family and friends or your kids or whatever, and something speaks to you in that movie. I'm telling you, I done been in watching some Disney shows or some movies with the family, and I'd be like, oh man, because there's something on the inside that is crying out to you, and it's your purpose. It's your gift. It's what you were designed to do on this earth. Not earth, earth. You hear me? You can't sleep at night. What's keeping you up at night? Let's go back to that. You want to go back to that? We can. You think about this all the time. Man, if I just had enough money. Man, if I just had the skills. Man, if I just had the resources. Man, if people would just help me fund this thing. It starts with you. Let me tell you something. If you're broke down on the side of the road and people see that you're broke down on the side of the road, but you're in your car, it's not very many people that's going to stop. Because maybe they think you got a phone. Everybody got a phone nowadays. You got a phone that you calling for help and you're just waiting. All right? Now, if you look under the hood, you might have a few people stop. You okay? Everything all right? But if you're behind that car and you pushing that thing on the side of the road, watch how many people help. I guarantee you more people will help you than sitting in the car. More people will help you than just having your hood looking. Because people like to be involved in something that's already moving. When they see you active and trying to help yourself, then they don't mind lending a helping hand. And some of you won't push the car. You need help. You need finances, you need resources, you need help with this great idea. And it is a great idea. Let's be honest, some of our ideas suck. But for some of you, those ideas are great. And it's not just that it sucks. It just may need to be tweaked a little bit, framed a little bit different, packaged a little bit different, changed a few things, and that thing can be successful. You didn't make it because you gave up. You didn't make it because it got tough. You didn't make it because you got mad and you got tired and you started going back to doing stuff that you used to do that you stopped. Stuff that's not even for you to do. You ain't supposed to be doing that. You too old for that. Why are you going back to that? You just like me. I ran the wrong way. And now you got to backtrack. Now it's years down the line and you're stuck in something that you don't like. You're stuck in a job that you don't like. You're stuck in where you live you don't like. What you drive you don't like. You deserve great things. You do not have to settle for what you don't like. For a season, maybe, just to save up money or whatever it is your case, but not forever. It should be not 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years down the line, 40 years down the line, that you are still in a state of, I do not like this. I hate it. You have gifts and talents. Your hands have amazing things that they can do. Your brain, the way you think. And let me tell you something. Get away from the littles. You know what the littles are? When people compliment you about your stuff. Hey man, I seen your little show. Hey, I seen your little book. I seen your little cookbook. I seen your little interview. I seen you on TV, man, with your little apron on. Get away from the littles. I call it respectfully trying to insult you. They're trying to insult you. They're trying to talk about you in the cool. Don't give me a compliment if you don't really mean it. If I hear you say little, I'm like, look, this little conversation got to stop because I ain't for it. I know what little mean. Ain't nobody crazy. It has to come to a point where what you do, you are proud of. Where you go to work, you're making a difference. And it ain't even got to be your own business at that point. You know, that's going to come if you keep working at it. But it's got to be to a point that I'm happy doing what I do because what I'm doing is making a difference in the world. Look at these smiling faces. Look at what I'm doing. Look at how many people I'm helping. Look at how many people I'm touching. And none of this would have happened if I would have gave up. Or somebody else would have been doing it. You've seen that before. You ever had an idea? It could be something that you wanted to invent, a program, or a school, or anything that you had in your mind. And you go on TV or you go on social media and you see somebody doing it. That's because they didn't quit, but you did. You stopped. It got hard, it got tough, life got the best of you, whatever the case may be. They stopped, and you didn't. I mean, they didn't stop, but you did. So now you got to live with watching your idea flourish on TV, flourish in a movie, in a book. They said yes. Let me tell you something. When you say yes, it is a powerful thing. Because every time you say yes to something, by default, you are saying no to something else. No, I can't go hang out with my friends. I'm going to go hang out with my family. So you're saying no to the friends, but you're saying yes to the family. Whatever you say yes to, commit to it. Stick with it. Because let me tell you something. Our greatest enemy is ourselves. They used to say that, shake hands with your brothers and sisters. Now shake hands with your enemy is yourself. Your enemy is yourself. The enemy of me. You're fighting against you every day. You ain't got nothing to do with people. Yeah, people may have hurt you. People may have done so. For instance, I didn't want to do this video. I set that light up. I set that camera up. I set this mic up and push record. I didn't know what was going to come out. I still don't know what's going to come out. I ain't got no script. This is from the heart. This is a therapy session. Me talking to me. It just so happened we're on the camera and I'm talking to y'all. I don't know what's going to come out. I don't know if it's going to touch nobody. I know it's going to help somebody. Why? Because I don't want y'all to know my business. But this is therapy. It ain't got nothing to do with me. It's about me bettering me. And if me bettering me and saying what I say helps me, it in turns help you, then I've done my part. What have you got bottled on the inside that needs to be released? Anger? Trauma? Let me tell you something. Pain is the greatest form of how your purpose is activated. Listen to any comedian. They make you laugh. That laughter comes from pain. They tell you about their life, and it happens to be funny. And a lot of times they saying some stuff, you be like, yo, that happened to me too. That's funny. I didn't think nobody else Yo, I got crazy people in my family too. Yo, my pets are crazy too. Whatever the case may be. And so when they say it in a very humorous way, it makes you think. Pain produces purpose. Let's say turn your purpose into praise. Yeah. You can turn your pain into a check too. Think about all the pain that you've caused in your life, or you've caused in your life, or other people have caused in your life. And think about all the things that you can do. Think about all the people that you have helped. Hold up. Wait a minute. For free. Over and over again. It's time for you to put that thing into a plan of action, package that right, and make some money off of it. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to me. You just listening. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the person behind you. Don't worry about it. You. I'm talking to you. No, me. No, you. I'm talking to you. Stop. Stop letting people use you. Matter of fact, stop letting yourself be used. That seems like the same thing, but it ain't. Stop doing that to yourself. That's why you ain't got no energy for yourself. Because pieces of you are just floating around. Think about that. Sexually. That's nasty, ain't it? I ain't trying to go there, but just think about it. Pieces of you floating around everywhere. That sounds disgusting, right? That sounds nasty, huh? Think about that spiritually, psychologically, emotionally. Pieces of you. Pieces of you floating around everywhere because you're letting people get pieces of you. I'm just saying. Help me to help you. What are the top 3 things that you want to accomplish in life? Write them down. How you going to get there? From point A to point B. See, we're looking from A to Z. We're trying to look at Z. We ain't even got to B yet. Apples and basketball. Come on, we ain't going to the zebras yet. No. Plan of action. Steps. What do you love about your life? What do you hate about your life? What's causing you the most pain? Who's causing you the most pain? What's causing you the most stress? Who's causing you the most stress? See, this is what happens. A lot of us keep the people in our lives that cause us the most stress. And then the people who love us, we keep them out because they all in my business. Oh, but you want to keep the people who cause you stress in your life, in your business. And that's why your life jacked up. Many of us are simply not what we want to be in life simply because of the people that we have in our life. And some people don't need to just be cut. Oh, I'm cutting them off. Give me them scissors. Go cut some paper first before you cutting people, because you cutting this person. This person is actually good. You just need to learn how to put people in their proper place. Compartmentalize these people. This is my fishing buddy. This is my technology buddy. This is my church buddy. Well, whatever the case may be, you ain't cutting them off, but you got to put them in the right place. Now, some people grab the scissors, grab the shears. Let's go. Cut them off. I ain't talking to you, I'm talking to me. And then some of you need to form a circle. Because you ain't got nobody to talk to. Let me ask you this question. If you were to die today, let's say tomorrow, okay? You don't wake up tomorrow. If you don't wake up tomorrow, what are you leaving behind? What kind of legacy are you leaving? Man. For some of you, that's painful to say. For some of you, it's very minimal. It's not a lot. For some, in your mind, it's nothing at all. For some, it may be a lot. I don't know your situation, but I ask this question again. If you were to die tomorrow, you don't wake up tomorrow, what legacy are you leaving behind? What will people say about you? I remember my dad said this. He says this all the time. He's like, make sure you live a life that people don't have to lie at your funeral. Oh, he was a good man. Sure was. I mean, he really wouldn't, but I'm just saying it because it's his friend. He was a good man. She was so sweet. Huh? She was sweet. Don't live a life where people have to lie to your funeral. Matter of fact, you want people to be sad when it's your time to go. Not be like, Vince ain't here no more. Oh, Man, yes, I couldn't stand that dude. If you were to go sick or go ill at your job, how would that affect? Would people send cards? Would people come visit you? Or would it just be like, oh well. I want you to live a life that makes an impact in this world, in your community. If you live in your community, in your neighborhood, do people know you, or you stay to yourself? Or if it's your time to go, then people are gonna be like, man, it's a huge void in the world. It's a huge void in that community, huge void at this church, at the job, at wherever, a part of this club, this organization. Or will you just be regular and normal? I don't know. It's time to build healthy relationships. Some of us can't go where we need to go simply because we don't know how to have healthy relationships, healthy conversations. We jacked up, we dysfunctional, we toxic, we just all these things. It's time to go get it, friends. You're not too old. It's not too late. God's not done with you. You have great things inside of you. You have greatness on the inside of you, friends. I heard someone say this, if you're not dead, God's not done. If you're not dead, God's not done. If you're not dead, God's not done. So what you doing? It's time for you to get up. Let's take those steps toward your greatness, your purpose. Let me tell you something. There's this story about this woman who she was like, hey man, if you know me, I don't really answer my phone. She said, I have missed calls and I have to call these people back or text them. I don't really like to answer the phone call. I like to text more. There's a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, don't like to really talk on the phone. I don't really talk on the phone like that. People rather text. And then when her friends got on to her, like, yo, you need to answer your phone. Something could really be happening. She's like, yeah, I need to do that better. And she said the phone could be like really right there and she don't even hear it. Or she got on vibrate and she looked at her phone, she got 10 missed calls. What about you in your life? How many calls you missed? Are you unaware of the calls being made for you? Are you unaware of the calls being made because somebody has some information they want to tell you? Some of us are too busy to be effective. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. Some of us are too busy to be effective. We think just because we're doing a lot of things that equates to actually being effective, which is not the case. You can go to the gym and do a whole bunch of working out, but that don't mean you actually worked out. That don't mean you had a successful working out. You ain't worked nothing out. You just did a bunch of stuff that amounted to nothing. There's a certain way to have a productive fitness regimen, diet, all of these things, meal plans. But if you're just kind of going and you don't know what you're doing, then you're doing a whole lot of work and going nowhere. Like that treadmill, running, but you're in the same spot. And you're frustrated because you're doing a bunch of stuff, but you're not getting the results because you're busy, but you're not effective. I remember this guy was a part of this church, and he used to always, he used to teach here at the church and different things like that. And he would go buy different toiletries for the church and all these different things like that. But when it came to doing things like outreach and stuff, he wouldn't show up. He would never show up. Because he felt like all the extra stuff that he was doing, buying this for the church and buying that for the church, was equating to his being spiritual, I guess. Go to the basics. I said, when it came to outreach and doing all these other things, he wouldn't show up. Some of us are not showing up. We're majoring in the minor, which means we're doing minor things on a major scale, but we're not doing the major things that need to be done as far as like self-development, prayer and spending time with God or spending time with your family. Instead of spending time with your family, you just go out and buy a bunch of stuff. Or, so instead of actually making memories, you just, taking the Chuck E. Cheese, or you give them some pizza, or whatever, all these different things like that. Or you don't spend time with your wife, you just buy her a bunch of stuff. We don't want the money, we want you. Money's good, but we want you. Your acts are good, but I want you. Your extra things are great, but what about you? Busy, busy, busy. I don't want you to be busy. You can have a person do 10 things and doing some stuff, and then you have a person doing 3 things, but the person doing the 3 things is more effective because they're actually targeting the things that need to be done. But this person is doing 10 things, is just doing a bunch of stuff. Oh, I'm gonna do that. Okay, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna do that too, and I'm gonna do that. But the things that you're doing, what kind of impact is it having? Is it making an impact? Is it making a negative impact? So there's a difference between being busy and being effective. I don't want to just be busy. I want to be effective. What about you? Busy or effective? I'm done.